a while.
Oh, how are you, friend?
I'm good. I'm better now that, the mother moving is done and I only have one goat left to have a baby. And so, yeah, you're wearing your cozy winter.
I am. Do we need to say a welcome?
Yes, welcome. I'm Jana with Pearl Together. This is Jill from Illinois, my podcast partner now. For us thinking about that the other day, it's been a couple of years already.
It has.
Nice.
It's exciting. I know.
Yeah.
It's hard to believe.
Well, yeah, because you made that shawl before our first retreat.
Yes, I wore this to our first retreat.
And that was in 2019.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's the Cozy Winter Shawl by Melanie Meidlinger. Lovely. It's a triangle. It's a triangle. Yep, we did that. That's there's a playlist for a knit along tutorial if you're interested in that. And this is the Hap Cowl that we just finished. So, yeah. And I'm,
my first foray into cables when I did not think that I could do cables. And you convinced me that I could do cables. And with the help of the videos, I could do cables. I remember saying,
you can do cables.
Well, I can do that. I learned how to do an I cord on that one. Your playlist on that piece is fantastic. It was
I love, and it's a well-written pattern. Yep. And it's a neat pattern. It's just garter stitch and then a little bit of a lace panel and the cables.
Yes.
And then I chose to do the I cord on the sides just because that was an addition. Yeah.
Aesthetically pleasing.
To me. Yes. So yay.
Yes. I can kind of put my timeline as a knitter. I can correlate it directly to our podcasting.
I know.
And it should be like titled from washcloths to sweaters,
And you could do those things people do on Instagram. Like I haven't quite figured out how they do it where, there's another knitter that I follow and it's Stephanie Pearl McPhee, by the way.
Oh, yes.
The yarn harlot. And so I don't know how she does it, but it's like, she'll have like 1 second a day in March and it shows the whole month, like something like that for knitters, like your progression with your projects.
Yes.
I don't know how you'd put that together. There must be some little programmy thing that does that.
You could.
How do people do the 1 second a day thing?
And you could have like little stopping sections of lace, cables, German short rows.
Right. Socks. All of it.
Ooh, so many wonderful things with socks.
Okay. Speaking of socks, should we show our piles together and then we'll talk about them?
I'm so excited. Keep your pile. Look at that.
Oh, yeah. I have one I could add at the top here.
Oh, I like that one. Look at those. Aren't they pretty?
So, wow, you have 4 pair there. I have 3 and a half. Well,
I have 5 pair.
Oh, my word.
Now, it's been a very long time since the two of us have chatted.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. That's right. And you don't wear them until you show them. And then you wear them.
No, I do not. So some of these are from my daughter and she saw all the podcast stuff set up. She said, Mom, are you going to podcast? And I said, yep. She goes, I get those socks.
Whereas I have worn them many times. I don't have that rule. I wear them when I'm done and then I'll show them later.
Oh man, I am so hard on my socks. I love them so well that I am excited after today to put all these in the rotation. Yes.
Okay. So what I thought would be fun, what we talked about is we both participate in Lauren's sock club, agirlandherwool.com. I'll put the link down below. You get your shipment every month you get yours in DK.
I get mine in DK.
I do as well.
A contrasting cuff.
Yep. I do too now. I get mine in DK also. Because it's faster and it's cold in Wyoming and I like them. They're squishy and I love them.
They are so squishy and they're so warm. I get cold feet.
Yeah. And we live in an old farmhouse with really cold floors. So should we show January's? Wait, do you have, maybe you should show the ones that are not club socks because I have all the club ones.
Oh, okay. I have 2 pair that are not club socks.
Okay.
So the 1 pair is because I bought club socks and I intended to do them for my daughter and I was tweaking my pattern and I didn't tweak it quite right. So they both ended up for me. So I know. So during her birthday
month, suspicious.
It worked out well for her because she got to pick out a colorway. So these were made from Lauren. Aren't they beautiful?
They're lovely.
These were made from Lauren's, one of her February colorways, because she has designated some of her colors are designated colorways for each month.
Right.
And she had a romance series, and these were called Forbidden Romance. Secret romance?
Secret romance.
Okay, these are secret. Like, wait a
Because I
second.
bought some forbidden romance off the.
Okay,
and
so
it's
mine.
dark. See?
Oh, yeah. So this is secret romance.
Okay. Oh, I love the green in there too.
Yeah, it catches. There's a lot. This one
That's
has
lovely.
a lot of green near the cuff.
Wow.
I love them so much.
So those are for you.
Actually, these ones are for my daughter.
Okay. Okay.
Yep, those are her. And then I really wanted this other pair. I had looked at the color for a couple months. So, yeah. So, well, and there's a story as to why I ended up buying them. Aren't those gorgeous?
Well, yes. And you know, I'm all about the purple.
I know. This one is called Plum and Plumber.
That's oh my word.
I know.
And you've about got your sock recipe all ironed out for yourself. So those you've knitted cuff down, heel flap and gusset.
Yes.
And a rounded toe.
Yes. And I have figured out, how to adjust. And I know you have a lot of videos on it, how to adjust my heel flap to make it just right for me. And I think I finally just about figured out where I like my DK socks. And you'll notice sometimes, like on my daughter's, these are shorter ones.
Yeah.
If that's how she likes them. These are longer because I'll wear them in like boots in the winter, like taller boots.
Sure.
Yeah. So.
And because I have monstrous feet, I'm happy when I can just knit past my cuff and make it a little longer.
Which is why you do toe up.
Yes. So, okay, those were your two so I'll start off and I'll show January's club color. This was a Girl in Her World. So you sign up for the club and then you get what you get, and you don't know what the colorway is going to look like until you open the package. But I've never been disappointed. And like I've said before, there are some times when I've gotten it and I'm like, I'm not sure. But then I start knitting with it and then I put the contrast with it. I'm like, oh. And so if you allow yourself to be open, it all works out because Lauren has a really good sense of what goes together.
It does. And if you have anyone else in your family that you might knit for, like March, I opened, it didn't even come out of the package before it was claimed by my daughter.
So I loved January. Loved January. So this was January.
Look at that.
Yes. And I will say, I've noticed a little bit of pilling on mine but I don't but see, I need to hand wash like you do. So it could be that my washer is just a little too aggressive, so I'm going to start hand washing mine like you do. But I love this January colorway. And I loved it so much. I used the scrap to make my gnome.
Oh my gosh, look at him.
Now, the gnome thing is I'm doing a gnome a month with Schira from Imagine Landscape. She's doing the whole year of gnomes because she realized she has 12 patterns that she's published over the years.
So fun.
So she decided to do this year of gnomes. I'll put a link to that knit along down below the video description. You can knit the same pattern 12 times. You can knit a gnome every other month. You can do whatever you want, but I'll put the link to the knit along for the year of gnomes.
Look at the little beard.
I know.
It's so cute. I love that you used your scrap.
January.
Yarn. Yeah. That's fun.
So that's January. So let me see your January socks. Similar, but you didn't. Okay. So you did toe.
I have always done, when I've done the contrast, I've always done
heels and toe
and heel.
Yeah.
I've not done now. April, I'm trying something different, but that I'm doing a cuff, get all crazy there. But what we did notice, I think, was that yours was a tiny bit paler than mine.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. And it's been fun to watch.
Well, and my lighting is a little weird too.
Mine is as well. Look at my bright pops of pink.
I know. Well, mine has been washed many times already. So,
What? Oh, what
and I
I
think,
love.
yeah, I think hand washing might be a better idea for me. So,
They did look like a sunset. I remember when Lauren released it, she talked about how it looked like the sky or something. And it was funny because I'd be driving home from work and going, oh, that does look like my socks.
nice, nice. They're
Yeah.
beautiful. They're beautiful. And they feel so good.
And these are mine. These fit
Yes.
me. These are
Oh,
not.
these are all for me. I decided Lauren's DK. I decided they're for me. Okay, I might be persuaded to knit some. I don't know though. I got the March into Spring box, and so I might knit one of those skeins for a kid.
So, as weird as it sounds, this is because of the March into Spring box.
Because
I had something in my head. Well, I was kind of thinking that anyway, there might be a particular color that would be one of the special colors of the month for March. And I couldn't really do that plus the box.
Right.
And I was sure I felt it in my bones that it was going to be like that.
And then you're wrong.
And I was wrong. But what a happy thing to be wrong. Oh, I was wrong. Too bad.
That's
So
lovely.
sad. I'm going to treat myself to this instead.
Right.
Yeah.
And of course, now, and I'll say this, February's, I'm not really a Valentine-y kind of person so much. And when I looked at the colorway, I was like, I don't know. But then I started knitting with it. And then I did my stripey thing and I was like, oh, I love it. February.
Oh, I do. I love how you did those cuffs.
Yeah.
Tell us about the cuffs.
Well, I just okay, because I have really big feet. So what I do is I order the 100-gram DK, and then I order a 30-gram mini because I want to have enough to do the toe, heel, and cuff. But I still wasn't sure I was going to have enough for all of them. And I've about got it ironed out where each toe takes 3 grams. And then, I weigh it, right? And I wasn't sure if I was going to run out. So I thought, well, I'm just going to go ahead and do a stripe so that I can make sure to have enough of my contrast color for sock number 2. So that's why the striping started, was just kind of as an effort, as a strategy to make sure I had enough of the contrast for my heels.
Nice.
And now I just like it. And these I decided to do shorties, and I do have quite a bit left.
Nice.
So maybe it'll be a Christmas sweater. Little ornaments, the little sweater ornaments?
Yes.
Yeah. I know. You just drag that out of thin air.
Well, it was on the table. So when I podcast, I'm like, oh, maybe I should show this. Ooh, maybe I should
bring it back.
I'm like a distracted kindergartner at show and tell. Like, I'm so excited. I just want to bring all of the things.
Bring that back.
No, look at that.
Oh my gosh, that's so cute.
It has a little shawl collar.
And little buttons.
And teeny tiny buttons.
You made that?
No.
It's so cute.
I mean, even, I can't. The baby raglan increases. I mean,
I know.
They're so tiny. Now I have a couple ladies that I knit with. The woman that taught me how to knit.
Yeah.
And we finally had our Christmas, pretty belated. And that was what she.
Yeah. Well, I have a little sweater ornament tutorial on the channel, and I do them for, I've said this several times on the channel. I do them for care packages, whatever. So little teeny Christmas sweater. So I might use the leftovers for that. So we'll see.
That'd be a great idea. I'm hanging this up on my little pegboard.
Yes. Let me see your February socks. Wow.
My lighting must be very different.
Mine's more yellowish. My lighting's more yellowish. Yours is more a cooler.
Mine is definitely cooler. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yours might be more, I don't know. Anyway, yours seems more vibrant. Yeah. It's lovely.
So I saved the contrast. I did not use the contrast at all.
Okay.
I did a tall heel, and again, they were supposed to be for my daughter. And that's honestly kind of how I tweaked my own, was for trying to figure out for her. So now I know exactly what I need for her and exactly what I need for me.
And again, that's cuff down, heel flap and gusset. And mine are toe up with a rounded, the seam free toe by Lynn Ashton. That's on Ravelry for free. And then I've been doing lately the Fish Lips Kiss heel. And the reason I started doing that is because I was concerned about having enough yarn, and it uses far less yarn than the heel flap and gusset. So that's why I started experimenting with Fish Lips Kiss, because I hadn't done it before. Before December, I had not done it before, and I decided to try it because having enough yarn is always an issue for me. So, and so far I've been able to tweak it. I've been able to tweak it so it fits really well, despite that I have a high arch. Nice. So yeah, at some point I'm going to do a class and we'll talk about how to manage that.
That will be fun.
Yeah.
So what I have done, and I'm super excited, there have been 3 club colorway socks that I have not used the contrast yarn. And it just so happens that one of them is a tonal yellow, one is a tonal orange, and this one is a tonal red.
Right.
So what I plan to do is take overnight oats, not baked oatmeal that I keep calling it. There's my soda right there.
It's overnight oats is the name of the colorway from Lauren, and it's an oatmeal color.
Yep.
And goes with everything.
Yep. So my intention is to do this and then take all the minis and make like a warm primary color stripy sock.
Nice.
I know. I'm so excited. So can't wait to do that.
Cool. That'll be
that'll be fun.
Okay. Show me your March ones.
Okay. These are for the girl.
Wow.
And those are March. And this must be where the peachy one came from. Yeah. It must not be orange. It must be peachy.
No, the contrast for that was kind of a buttercream frosting color.
Oh, it's the yellow one.
Yeah.
Okay. It's the pale yellow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Your peachy one must be from a different month, because I haven't had a peachy contrast yet.
No, it is. It's orange. I just forgot that this was that pale yellow. And I thought,
what?
This, because November, maybe.
So again, you did cuff down.
Yep.
Heel flap gusset, rounded toe. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So mine, I was so happy. I did toe up and I didn't stop. Okay. So when I did January, which I just counted like 40 rows or whatever. And I'm like, okay. And then I had some left for the gnome. Right. And then in February, I did shorties on purpose just because I wanted to. But this time in March, I'm like, I'm going to knit until I'm halfway. And I wait.
That's fantastic.
I wait because I wanted to see with my big women's size 12, I wanted to see really how far could I go up the leg by, I weighed it. And I stopped at 51 grams. I gave myself 1 gram of like slush. And it went pretty far.
Oh my gosh, those are beautiful.
Yeah. And look, they don't even fit on the screen. That's how big my fit are.
Oh, they're beautiful.
So again, I did the a little stripey there, just because I like it. Just because I like it. Fish Lips Kiss, toe up, and then I did my stripes here.
I love the stripes at the top.
Okay, I will confess, they don't match entirely. And here's why.
You can't tell at all.
So here's what happened. I had my bag, and my girl has been doing rehearsals for a musical that's coming up. And so I've been going to town like 4 nights a week, because I can't just like you, I don't have the convenience of living in town. So I can't just drop her off and then come back home, because it's a 50-mile round trip. So it's 26 miles to town. So I go to the library and knit and watch my show, and I wait because it's a 2-hour rehearsal, and that's fine. It's quality knitting time at the library. The problem was I had sock number 1 all done, and it was on my desk. And then I had my bag at the library, and I couldn't remember how many rows I did. So they don't entirely match, because I finished at the library, and yeah, they're slightly different.
Oh my gosh, you would never be able to tell.
But I got home and I'm like, whatever, I'm not taking it out. They're just for me, whatever. It's okay. So,
oh my gosh,
that's a lot. I was happy. That's a lot.
That is.
That's a lot of leg. And so these are March, and oh my word.
Oh, April's beautiful.
I think it's my favorite so far. Now that's saying a lot. That is saying a lot because there have been some fantastic color. Okay, do you want to show it?
I was gonna say, do you have your Aprils?
Yes.
I was going backwards, but now I'm going forwards.
Uh-oh.
There's my little ramen where you can see that I wrote
My
one.
ramen.
Yeah.
My frogging ramen.
My frogging ramen.
Oh, so you decided not to do the contrast on the heel this time.
No, so I have
cuff and toe.
I've seen some pictures that I really liked that had a pretty bold contrast between the cuff and the toe. So what I intended to do. So, okay, first I should probably show it so you can see all
it's beautiful. Oh my word, I just love it.
It's fantastic. So I decided since this was so pretty, I really wanted more of the toe than just that, this offered.
Yeah.
So I thought I'll start a few rows earlier.
Yeah.
So I did, and I waited. It was getting to be where it was going to be pretty close. And I was thinking, okay, we've got Facebook friends, we've got the Instagram hashtag. Surely somebody has 1 gram.
If you run out.
If I run out, I'm sure I could get some more. And I was somewhere knitting really late last night, and I knit mine on 9-inch circulars.
Yeah.
And then when I get close on the toe, I move to magic loop.
Okay.
So I was magic looping, and I thought, gosh, this seems off a little bit. And I did my count, and my counts were off. I think when I put them on here, I think they got put on. I think I put 2 extra stitches on one instead of the other.
I see. Okay.
Because usually, if they're off 1 or something, you're going back and forth. So that's understandable. But it was
shuffle it.
It was pretty lopsided. So I thought, okay, I'll just start backing up till I can find it. And I was backing up and backing up and backing up. And I got so close, and I thought, I am not going to mess with this. It's making me nervous with the toe anyway. So I just ripped it all back. And that's why this is ramen, because then I had to join because I had to go further with the purple.
Right.
So it'll have a tiny toe.
It's okay.
I'm so excited.
Beautiful.
They're so pretty.
I know. And look, it's only the 6th. And look at you've almost got sock number 1 done already.
They come together really fast. And I happen to get just a little bit excited. I might happen to wind it up and cast it on that very same day.
Oh, me too. I'm like stalking the mail person. I'm like, oh, are they here yet? I'm looking out the window, I'm listening for the flap of the mailbox, I'm like, oh, I'm here. Refresh on the tracking number. Okay.
Yeah.
Toe up.
Oh, look at that.
Okay, so this time I decided to just do my rounded toe, and then when I was done with the increasing, I did 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3. That's
how fun!
Yeah, one row of each, two rows of each, then 3 rows of each. That's how I decided to do it. So I'll make the cuff that way too. I'll match the cuff in the same way, right? Because why not?
Mm-hmm.
And then there's my heel. That happened in the car last night while I was waiting for the girl.
Nice. Looks like
I mean, you can see why it's called that.
Yeah. Oh, that's fun.
We're so easily entertained. Right. So now I'm just running around, but I have my number of rows, and I have my running stitch marker right here.
I like your running stitch marker.
So it's just 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. I have big feet. And I do a little increasing between rows 60 through 80. I do a little increasing to make it a little bigger for my higher arch before I begin my heel. So I have a larger number of stitches to separate from my heel.
Okay.
Right. So.
And I'm either.
Excited. Yay.
Remember if I'm 45 or 53. It's on my Ravelry. I put notes as to how many rows are each. And then the other thing I do is I make notes to myself. Next time do XYZ. And I think that's why my socks have become
handy.
More curated each time and closer to what I want if I just read my old notes.
So the other sock I have to show, and I will preface this by saying Carol Jones, if you're watching this, look away. This is your spoiler warning. Look away. I'm not going to warn you again. If you don't want to see it, look away. I don't know if she watches or not, but if she does,
like
she's been duly warned. Okay, so Carol of Chicken Coop Dye Works, she and I were talking. She's never had handmade socks before. And I'm like, what? You're a knitter and you've never had your own handmade socks. She's like, yeah, I don't really. I mean, in fairness, she lives in Texas, so it's hot, whatever. But still. So I said I would make her a pair of socks. And she said, oh, I'll send you the yarn if you'll make us socks. Make us a pair of both. I'll send you the yarn for you and for me. So that's where in my Instagram I had all those minis because she wanted the pattern that we picked is super fun. They're just ankle shorties because she lives in Texas and it's fingering weight. And they're called Weekend Shorty Socks by Summer Lee.
Yes. Summer Lee Knits.
Yeah. Yeah. So she sent me all these minis and I said, do you want to know in what order I'm doing them? She's like, no, surprise me. And I said, do you want them to match? And she said, no, they can be fraternal twins. So this is number 1. And now I think I've cast on number 2.
Oh, fun.
And the cuff is pink. So I think maybe the next color will be this or yeah, I don't know yet. I don't know. I'll use the same colors in a different order. But the middle, the foot part will be the same because she sent me, I mean, it only takes I have a lot. And then she sent me enough to make some for me too, so we could have friend socks.
Oh, fun.
Yeah. So, okay, Carol, you can look again. Anyway, but she didn't want to see it to surprise. So she was duly warned if she watches. I don't know if she does or not, but.
I know. And I get all weird and sentimental. That's one of the things I like best about knitting. Like you talk about friend socks, like the January socks, where, that's the sunset or whatever. My daughter and I, when we're driving to wherever she has to go, we love to look at the sunsets and stuff like that. So I love how knitting evokes memories.
Yes. And then look at my merch.
Oh my goodness.
And look how big he or she, look how big.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So I'm not sure what I love more, like the stripy stripes, the sparkle, the braids, or that awesome hat.
This was simply brilliant. Okay. How she did this. And again, this is a pattern from Sarah Schira from Imagine Landscape. And this one is called Gnome, pun intended. And so it was at first when I read the pattern, I'm like, wait a sec, I don't get it. I had to go watch her video tutorial for how to make the rumpled kind of thing here. Cause I kind of didn't, I just didn't, usually I'm pretty good at it. When I read a pattern, I can kind of visualize what's going to happen and I get it. I had to go watch. She has a really good tutorial. It was only like a 2-minute little video, but then I'm like, oh, that makes sense. Okay. And then what makes it do that on its own is you slip the first stitch up and you slip it up again and that draws it down. That makes it curve.
Oh, how clever.
Yes, super clever. She's brilliant. The stuff she comes up with is brilliant. Wow. And then you don't have to have the braided beard. Hers is like a loopy kind of a fringy beard, but I just liked it. And then these were left over. This is the shimmery is from, it's called Glitter Sock and it's from Jillian Kittles. These were some minis for my advent kit.
Fun.
These, and let's see, they were left over from this.
Oh, from your Hap.
And so I just had a little bit, here and there. This is the worsted version and I held it double. So that's why, for my minis. Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. And then this was some Knit Pick Stroll that I held double. That just scraps, just stuff I have left, just bits. And then, I just did the polyfill, the fluffy business, and I put a golf ball in the bottom. And I told my husband I need a golf ball. And he's way into golfing, like way, way into golfing. And in the summertime, I don't care anything about playing golf. I like to go hunt through the bushes for golf balls. It's like an Easter egg hunt every weekend. I just love finding golf balls. It's ridiculous, but I love it. So, yeah. All right. So I'm doing DK socks and the Gnome every month.
Yay.
It's fun. Oh, and now we're going to do a sweater.
And we are. I have a fingering weight pair of socks going, and that's in the car.
Yeah.
That's my car knitting right now. So I don't have that in here.
You'll have to show us next time.
Yeah. It was my safety project because even 3 days ago, I had 3 projects and 2 had to be going backwards. And that just wasn't very fun. So
Your safety project. Safe knitting. Like, it's all going to be fine.
yeah,
But that's what this is for me, because it's just round and round right now. And I know lots of people do patterns, but I'm in a mode in my life right now where I do patterns on all these other things all the time. And so right now I'm happy about the vanilla socks. And I feel like that's how I'm going to be with this sweater knit along we have coming up, is that it's just going to be lovely round and round and stripes. And stripes obviously make me happy.
Oh, that'll be so much fun.
So our new knit along, we mentioned last week or earlier this week, is called After the Rain by Heidi Kermayer, not sure which, sorry, Heidi. And it's a top-down raglan sweater, simple. It's written to be in stripes, but you don't have to. You could just make it solid color. If it's your first sweater and you just want to knit it straight up, easy, do that. I'll be doing tutorial videos, and it's just going to be a fun, relaxing, knit, and stripes.
I've been thinking the hardest part is going to be deciding how I'm going to do it and what my colors will be.
Okay, so I have, if you saw the podcast earlier in the week, I have a link set up that goes to Needlepoint Joint, a local yarn store in Ogden, Utah, and Needlepoint, obviously, but they carry a lot of yarn. So watch that if you haven't. By the time this airs, there will also be a podcast out with Lauren from A Girl in Her Wool, and she's taking pre-orders for hand-dyed yarn for this sweater. Now, the stuff, the yarn that is from Needlepoint Joint is very budget friendly. If it's your first sweater and you need something that you can wash on gentle, lay flat to dry, but it's okay to machine wash, it is acrylic and a wool blend, and those are very affordable. It's the Barocco Vintage DK.
Yes.
And that's fantastic. The pre-orders from Lauren at A Girl in Her Wool, this is going to be the same DK that we're knitting our club socks with, the same DK, but she's putting together special colorways for kits to pre-order, and they will be dyed to order. By the time this airs, that podcast and that pre-order will be out. So I will link that down below.
I'm going to have to make my decision soon. You talked about the Barocco DK, the vintage.
The vintage.
That's what this was a gift, so it never made its way to the podcast. That's the Bean and Olives by Andrea Mowry. I knit that out of Barocco Vintage.
The vintage DK. And I'll put the link to your project page down below for that. So if people want to go look, yeah, it's affordable. I'm actually, okay. So
you're going to? Oh, that's fun.
I'm knitting a sweater for me out of Lauren's. And I think I've decided on my colors. I have decided on my colors. But then my daughter wants one too. And I'm going to order from Needlepoint Joint and get the vintage DK to knit for her, because then I know I won't have to mess with, skeins and swapping and stuff. And she thought she had decided, but now she's like, I don't know. And I'm like, you need to decide. I need to get going on this. I need to get started on this. If I'm making one for you and one for me, we need to do this now.
It's sometimes just making those decisions is the hardest part, just getting started. And sometimes I have to have an idea percolating for a little while to figure out exactly how I want it to be.
Right. So stay tuned to our Instagrams so you can see the colors that we pick.
Yay! Oh,
and there'll be, we'll be talking about it in the Facebook and Ravelry groups as well. So join over there in the Ravelry group. We'll have the knit along over there. We'll be talking about it in both groups. But yeah, the threads are easier to follow in the Ravelry because it's threaded. It's organized by thread that way. So yay! Fun stuff coming up. So all the links to all the stuff we talked about is down below in the video description. Click show more.
Yes. Yay. Yes.
Thanks for joining me.
Thank you for having me. It was fun. It was fun to visit. It's fun to see your pile of socks.
And
I
yours,
cannot wait to see what my sink of socks looks like.
your sink of socks.
My sink of socks. So like on my Instagram, so I'm Kitchen Table Knits on Instagram, and on Sundays I do my socks,
Yeah.
and it's just a sink of socks, and I can't wait until these get in the rotation.
Yeah. You're going
And
to have like one of those big outside wash tubs of socks. At some point, you're getting quite a sock drawer going there.
Oh, I can't wait. I'm so excited.
I'm going to have to start having a Sunday sink of socks too. We need a hashtag for that. Sunday sink of socks.
Yeah, because
Think
right now
through.
I think right now I just have sink of socks. Maybe I don't.
I don't know. We need a
have to
hashtag for
see.
sink of socks.
We do, because sometimes it's Saturdays.
That's
Sink of
okay. It
socks.
could just be sink of socks.
Sink
Do
of
that.
socks.
All right. See you next time.
Okay, have a great day.
You too.
Bye.